TravelWise with Phil Blizzard. News, views and interviews.
Hello, I'm Phil Blizzard in Dubai with some of the latest news from the world of travel, including details of the first commercial flight from Israel to the United Arab Emirates. We have news from Emirates, and our interview special on this occasion features the land of smiles from our person on the ground in Thailand.
TravelWise News.
The big news this time, and indeed very big news, is that of the first commercial flight from Israel to the UAE happened on August the 31st. Israeli and American officials travelled to Abu Dhabi on board this historic flight, El Al Flight 971. The Boeing 737 took off from Tel Aviv with the word peace in Arabic, Hebrew and English above the cockpit window. The flight was granted special permission to fly in the airspace over the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia and landed at 3:40 in the afternoon to a red carpet welcome at Abu Dhabi International Airport. And from that groundbreaking story to Emirates, who have commenced flights from Dubai to Bangkok, the capital of Thailand, as of September the 1st. However, most international travellers will not be able to enter the country due to strict restrictions on those arriving. The Thai tourism minister is believed to be under pressure to open up the country to international visitors, and there is talk that this could happen on October the 1st. We'll keep you updated on that. And finally, in the aviation news section, the Bahrain International Air Show, which was set to take place from November the 18th to the 20th, has been cancelled due to coronavirus-induced challenges and travel restrictions. The Bahrain International Air Show will now be held in 2022. And next is our interview special, featuring the land of smiles from our person on the ground in Thailand. We're catching up with Richard Jackson, who is program controller and presenter on radio station Surf FM.
TravelWise with Phil Blizzard. News, views and interviews.
And on the show today, we're popping over, we might say, to Thailand, to Hua Hin, the Royal Resort, a couple of hours' drive south of Bangkok, to catch up with Richard Jackson.
Hello, good to talk with you again, Phil. Nice to hear your voice.
Likewise, and thanks very much. How are things down there in Thailand with you?
Well, a little bit wet. We've got the monsoon rains here at the moment, so it's kind of overcast and raining a lot. But in terms of the COVID situation, I think Thailand has done exceptionally well. We've just had, I'm not sure how many people are infected, but not that many. And I think in terms of deaths, the country is about 58, which is much lower than many other countries.
Well, I was going to say the country's doing extremely well, but they are rather slow in letting us people who want to go to Thailand to enjoy the country and the people and everything else, a bit slow in opening up, aren't they? So at the moment it stands at, certain international travellers who are, Thai residents, work permit holders, and is it health?
Very few.
Yeah.
I can give you an overview of that.
Sure, please.
Basically, they're allowing Thai people to repatriate from overseas, so they're laying on repatriation flights. And also on those flights, people can come back into Thailand if they have a work permit, if they're married and got their spouse and kids and stuff here and family, or if they're a diplomat. And one or two other minor categories. But very, very few people are able to come into Thailand. The airport is effectively closed. And anybody that does come back on a repatriation flight, they're straight into a quarantine.
For how long?
So they can either go into a government facility, which is usually a small private hotel, or they can pay to get into a nicer hotel for 2 weeks, 14 days. Everybody, without exception, has to go into quarantine. And it appears that this has really prevented coronavirus from really spreading and really taking off in Thailand so far.
So it's kept a good control on the spread of the virus, as you're saying, but it's reduced the number of visitors coming in. So, it's not any different to so many of other countries around the world. So,
well, the main aspect of tourism, even here in Hua Hin, but for Thailand, has been the Chinese. Of course, China was perhaps the first place to have the virus, and Thailand saw that and acted very quickly to stop people coming in. And that's why I think perhaps the numbers have remained low. But obviously, we are missing the Chinese tourists. I was just talking with my colleague Lee just a few moments ago. She's up in Chiang Mai, up in the north, and she was saying it's extremely quiet up there. A lot of hotels have just closed down.
Yeah, sure.
A lot of businesses are closed, and the streets are, very quiet indeed. So the only slight improvement is that AirAsia have been allowed to operate some domestic flights across Thailand. In fact, just last week here in Hua Hin, we have a very small airport here. They just launched their service from Hua Hin, which is here, up to Chiang Mai, and up to Udon Thani, which is up in the northeast.
Yep.
So that they're operating, a few flights over the weekend, every weekend. So domestic tourism is really what Thailand's trying to really develop and push.
That's what I was going to come on to. So opportunities for you to sort of have a break from Hua Hin and go to other parts of Thailand using the services of, as you say, AirAsia, which is good news. And I was talking to someone up the road from you a few weeks ago for the show, the general manager of the Anantara Resort, a nice chap called Graham Ewer. And we had a good conversation, and he was sort of emphasizing the importance really of domestic tourism. And knowing Hua Hin, having been there many, many times, I know you get a lot of people down at the weekends from Bangkok and when it's holidays.
Oh, yes.
And I guess that is still very much the same. People escaping the city and coming down to the Royal Resort of Hua Hin.
Well, we were in lockdown a few weeks ago, of course. But, the Thais, they do continue to wear face masks, which probably helps. And there's a lot of, use of hand sanitizers every time you go in some of the stores or into the hotels or anywhere that you're traveling to. There will usually be some hand sanitizer around, and people are wearing masks and using this stuff. And now they're, not in lockdown anymore. They are able to travel domestically. And at weekends, a lot of people from Bangkok are coming down to here, and the hotels are so relieved to have a little bit of business. And also it's a great time to get a great discount.
Absolutely.
So many hotels are offering 50%, 30, 50, 60% discount. That is fantastic. And family packages and things. Also in some of the major shops, you'll see some great discounts on products and services as well. So, if you are able to, and enjoy your shopping, now's a good time to do that.
Sounds like it. And in terms of hotel offerings, very much the same across the UAE with some good rates for the summer period. And private villas and hotels seem to be a big attraction for a lot of residents across the UAE, especially the Emiratis who want to have a villa and the privacy which is offered. And talking of face masks, I don't know what you're wearing, but my wife found a lovely one for me today. It's a very business focused one. It's almost like a piece of material, like a pinstripe suit. So I'm looking forward to wearing that when I have my first face-to-face meeting next week or whatever. So there are some interesting designs around when it comes to face masks. They don't have to be the white and blue ones, which are getting a bit boring. There are some colourful designs around. So what would you go for, Richard?
Well, I'm not sure. I know, several companies have taken up the opportunity to put an advertising logo on the face mask.
Right. Good
that
idea.
Seems to be, quite a common thing. Just sort of, small to one side.
Yeah, sure.
Me, we've got some disposable ones and I have some cloth ones, and we just keep some of those in the car, and that's it. And I kind of rotate those.
Well, carry on.
I'm just going to say, but we do wear them every time we go out of the house. You wear the face mask.
Absolutely. Staying with hospitality, and of course, hotels, it's that smile, that greeting when you check in and when you're served at a restaurant is so important. Yeah. And I'm waiting for someone to come up with a translucent or transparent face mask so you can see that smile rather than have it covered over. And there's one guy I was talking to who's the GM of a major hotel in Istanbul a few weeks ago. He's done something which is quite good. It's not replacing the face mask with something else, but he's taken the photograph of each member of staff with their face mask. To the side of that, they have a picture of that person as it's like a rosette on their shoulder, on their chest. So that's quite a good idea. So you actually see the image of the person you're talking to.
Of course, this whole face mask wearing thing is obviously cause some compromises when it comes to face recognition cameras and things as well, isn't
of course,
it? In airports and security and stuff like that.
Anyway, time for me to say au revoir or goodbye.
Okay.
We're running out of time, and it's been good catching up with you to find out what's happening in the Royal Resort of Hua Hin. And stay safe, Richard.
Okay, well, just before we go, I would just say that it seems that the Thai borders are likely to stay closed until perhaps the end of February next year. I'll let you go.
I was hoping I wasn't going to hear that bad news. Okay, well, you take
Sad
care,
news.
stay safe, and hopefully we'll get over to Thailand early next year. All the best.
Look forward to it, Phil. Thank you.
TravelWise with Phil Blizzard. News, views, and interviews.
Many thanks to Richard. And coming soon in terms of interviews, we'll be taking a look at trekking in Switzerland with Ryan Powell. And in another edition, a look at business and private aviation with Ali Ahmed Al-Naqbi, who is the executive chairman of the Middle East Business Aviation Association.
TravelWise with Phil Blizzard. News, views, and interviews.
And to finish off, event news, the Etihad Airways Abu Dhabi Grand Prix has been confirmed for December the 13th and will again bring the curtain down on the 2020 Formula One season. In a campaign which has been reduced because of the pandemic, the race will take place without spectators, and Yas Island in Abu Dhabi will be transformed into an F1 biosphere. The 4 final Grand Prix in this year's season will take place in 3 countries, 1 race in Turkey, 2 in Bahrain, and the one we've just been talking about on December the 13th in the UAE. And that will end the calendar on a total of 17 races.
TravelWise with Phil Blizzard. News, views, and interviews.
I'm Phil Blizzard in Dubai. I look forward to joining you soon on TravelWise. And don't forget, there's weekly updates on my Capital Radio show. Wish you were here. Capital Radio UAE, my weekly travel show, Saturday afternoons from 2 p.m. until 5 p.m.
TravelWise with Phil Blizzard. News, views, and interviews.
TravelWise is a Phil Blizzard radio production. Email me at philblizzardmedia@gmail.com.
A Phil Blizzard radio production.
TravelWise with Phil Blizzard. News, views, and interviews.